everybody. It's Convos with Kerry. Thursday night. Convos with Kerry. I have to get a little theme song now. I feel like I have to. So we're talking about reflections and growth. Reflections. Oh no, spelled that wrong. Reflections to growth. To growth with Hades. Send me a request at Hades. I'm going to pin that, and then I'm going to wave to you, and then I'm going to Kerry tonight, Thursday evening from 8:30 to 9:30, where we talk about things and relevant things that are going to be helpful to you, that is for you, by you. Let's see if this is going to work. Okay, we're hoping, praying this works. I definitely want to have this conversation. I can't wait to have this conversation with this young woman tonight. Oh, come on, IG. It's not letting me add you. Okay, so we're just going to wait a little bit. Hopefully it lets us add you. Or what I'm going to do is I'm going to come off and come back on again and just try it again. Unable to join. I'm going to just keep going and just seeing if it's going to let us. Yeah, I see it. I see your request. I'm trying to get you up. Oh, it worked.
I'm here.
Oh, it worked.
With my favorite filter.
I don't see a filter.
Oh, I'm about to find it. Oh, okay, we do this.
This one, I don't see anything. Try a different one.
There was one
Already
I
picked.
was
I
using.
picked mine before I come on.
I didn't even know how to do that. Like,
I gotta show
what?
you the tricks.
I don't know how to do that. I'm just
Well,
gonna go with
keep
this.
going until you find one. I'm going in to do my little
This one is
intro.
fine. Do your intro.
Natural beauty spine is totally good. I'm gonna do my little intro and then I'm gonna find my thing for you. Okay, here's my thing. So I'm gonna pull this up and then I'll do my little intro and then we'll start. So
Okay.
hi everybody, if you're new to my channel, are you new to Instagram, new to my page, my name is Kerry Wilson and I am your favorite BMC, Behavior Management Consultant. I am the CEO of Stop, Evaluate, Reassess, and Follow Through with Your Life. And that stands for SERF, Surf Your Life. And what I do here is I help children, families, and youth, Black children, families, and youth who are struggling with challenging behaviors. I help them to reclaim their peace and one family at a time. So if this is you or you know anybody who's struggling, who feels overwhelmed, who doesn't know where to go, where to start, please send them my way. If that is you, DM me. I'm a DM away to get this started. Tonight, we have this amazing young woman who I've known for many, many moons
I know.
since she
God.
was a teenager. And I don't like to use those terms of troubled or, but behavioral. But you know what? That is what
Challenging. Very
that is,
challenging.
yes, we could use challenging behaviors, which I like. So she was one of those young women who came to me with challenging behaviors. And we spent some time together. So it's so nice to see that from teenagehood, now she's a young woman who's a mom, who's an entrepreneur, who's what is your title? Well, you know what? Let me take it away and you introduce yourself. Tell them a little bit about
Hi,
you.
guys, I'm Nisi. I work at a school as an educational assistant. That is my duties. I have a teenage son. He will not show his face for nobody, but he's 14 now. I know I look young. I get that a lot, but I'm not that young. And that's just me.
So, tell me one, but let's break the ice a little bit and just do a little fun activity that I like to do with when guests come on. It's just telling me something, pick one interesting fact about you that maybe people know or don't know, or only your close people know about you. And yeah, one interesting fact or thing.
One interesting thing about me is I'm
I already
funny.
know. I know it. I don't know if everybody knows it,
I'm
but I know
funny.
it.
You know what?
I
I
think
think I'm
everybody
funny.
knows you're funny, Nisi. I think everybody
My
knows you're
son doesn't
funny.
think that. My son doesn't think so. So
Well, that's because he's a teenage boy.
he doesn't think I'm funny. So
Okay.
um I'm like in the middle of an introvert and a extrovert. So I'm like in the middle. So sometimes when I first go around a crowd, I'm very quiet. I don't really talk. I'm a very observant person, so I would like observe the room, not really say nothing. But then like later on down the road, that's when the real me will come out.
So you
The ones
get
that know, they know. Yeah.
so you get extroverted once you're warmed up.
Yeah. Once I'm warmed up, then I'll be like talking a lot.
Okay. And you know what? If I look back on things, yeah, it took you when you were younger, it took you a minute. So
Mm-hmm.
you were more introverted, and then until you warmed up, and then yeah,
Mm,
your personality really came out and shine. So I agree with that. I agree with that one. And it's
yeah.
nice to see that you're reflective to know that this is what you are still today.
Yes, I am.
So I'm going to start it off by just giving like a little bit of background, and I'm going to let you go with the background of how much background you want to give and where you want to start this conversation from. But the theme that I have on this is reflections to growth. So we're going to be reflecting back because I've known you for so long, and then I want you to also go like in the stages of growth of where you started, where you are going. So let's start the conversation with a little bit of background about you, like where'd you start? Like, what was your start and how did you get your start?
My
The
start.
challenges you faced and the progress you've made. Like, so where do you
I
want to
really don't know
start?
like where like as I'm at this age today, I think back and I'm like, why was I acting like that? Like why was I no no. I was like, why? But then I had to like deeper think, like I had to think of my childhood and everything. I think it was had to do with not having like my dad there, like my dad.
Let's start. Like, you're diving right in. You have to give them a little potatoes. So at 14, what age did you
Yeah.
start to
At
have
what
these,
age? Well, have these issues?
yeah, what started where they would be considered challenging behaviors?
Well, my mom told me from kindergarten. She told me from
Really?
kindergarten,
Next I
like
should have your mom on. Next I should have Marcia
she
on.
would never come on here ever. You'll just have me and then hear her in the
In
background
the
just
background
talking. Yeah,
disagreeing.
you will never see her here. Yeah, she
Okay.
told me a story that I was on the table dancing and the teacher told me to come off and I just scratched her. I'm like, no. I'm just like, oh wow, spicy. But I see that now.
So you think it started in kindergarten as in some challenging behaviors, and do you think that
Yeah,
those
like
behaviors, as we consider, like, do you feel like the labels were? Because I know I'm sure for sure labels were placed on you throughout those times. Do you think those labels were correct at the time?
no. At the
What what
time,
what are some
it
of the
was kind
labels
of
that you heard over through your times?
like attitude, rude, feisty, like ignorant, stubborn. Like I just didn't if I didn't like what I was told, like I'm not gonna do it.
Hmm.
In
Okay.
school, that's for sure. I'm not like that's what I see myself. That's what I remember. I don't really remember too much elementary, but a little bit of middle school and I remember everything in high school. In high
Mhm.
school, I was like, no, no.
No, no meaning what? No, no, you're
Not
not
doing
going to label
nothing
me
like
anymore, or no?
you can say
Yeah, go
whatever
ahead.
you want. I came to a realization like I probably started doing better and started listening more like when I reached grade 11.
Okay.
That's when I'm like, okay, you know what? Like I'm gonna have to like get back my credits. Like I have to like fix up myself. Grade 11 is when I'm like, okay, yeah, it's time to like go. Like I'm not staying here anymore.
So in that reflection, in those times that you weren't reflecting that deeply in grade 11, you were kind of just trying to, redo things, start over and refresh and start making some better choices for your life. So
Mm-hmm.
when did you start to reflect and be like, you know what? This is what was going on with me. Maybe these are why some of these challenging behaviors were happening, especially as a mom, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
having a teenage son now, like, is it really like letting you bring back to, those memories?
Yes. And my mom always told me, watch, crime is gonna get you. Watch when you have your kid. Watch when you have your kid. I'm like, I'm not gonna treat my kid like you do to me. I'm like, that's not gonna happen to me. And well, he's not like me. Let's just
Mhm.
say, like his attitude, like he is kind of like me, but the trouble in school is not like I was worse.
Nothing.
I was worse.
Okay.
He still has like some issues. Like I was worse. I got suspended and stuff. He's never gotten suspended or nothing like that. But
Oh,
he
nice.
does have those traits. Like
Okay.
don't tell me what to do kind of thing.
He's
That's
gonna
him.
he's gonna push the grain. He's gonna push,
Mm-hmm.
push back, which is good. It's good to have the way it's just the way of doing it so you don't
Yeah,
get yourself into problems.
exactly.
But okay, so as you're reflecting and as you're seeing some things that are, what sort of I want to say, what themes do you see from your childhood to now as adult, and also being a mom? Do you see any themes that you want to be like, you know what, this is why, or this is what has created the Nisi that we know today?
I think communication, like talking to my child. Like I talk to my son. My mom never had I never did that with me. I never came home and she never asked me how was my day, how was school. Never. There's never a one-on-one conversation about anything. We do
Mm-hmm.
that now.
Yeah.
When they're like I already know like what to do kind of thing. But I still ask her for advice sometimes, but like we never had that. So I do that with my son. So
Or you
that
do
changed.
the things that you felt like you didn't have, or what was maybe triggering for you when you were a youth, you try to do them differently with your child today.
Yes.
Okay, that's
Yes.
good. So tell me,
It's not always good though.
what do you mean by that?
Well, you see, when I say like it's not always good, it could backfire because like I wasn't rich. Like my mom never gave me everything. Like I had to work for my thing. Like everything I had, like all the Jordans, clothes, I had to work for that. Now, like me and my son's father, we would like we don't want him to grow up the way we did. But now it's just like you're spoiled. Like you need to do things
Mm,
now. Like it's like you have to work for like we have to teach him like you have to work for these things. Like things don't come this easy. Like if I say no, you can't just go to your dad and ask him. Like you need to understand
mm.
that no means no.
So,
And that
oh,
is the problem. That is the trouble I'm having now.
so the co-parenting, you have a co-parenting relationship as well.
Yes.
That, whoa, you have a lot on
And
your plate,
it
girl.
wasn't easy at first either. It was a lot. But
Oh,
now we are solid.
good.
I
That's
say
so
we are solid.
I'm gonna put that on the, because I really want to touch upon that as well, because I know you were a young parent and you had your child young. So now I love to hear how that you got to that point with the co-parenting being great now. So another question I have is like, how have you applied these skills and strategies you worked on, like we worked on? Do you remember any of the time, the things that like I sort of helped you to instill that is now, you know what, let me try this now for my own child? And also because now you work with kids, I hope I was a
Yeah.
little bit of that inspiration to
I
go
think it
down that
was
field.
because I think it was. If I wasn't getting in trouble now, if I never got that 25 days now, I wouldn't have met you now.
And do you think you would have been wanting to work with, now you work with with
And
kids with
exactly,
challenging
and I look
behaviors?
back and I'm like, wait, I worked in Shoreham Public School for summer school, grade
Yeah.
one. I'm like, oh yeah, I was like 17, 16 those times. I'm like, I could have put that on my resume, but
Yep.
I forgot about that. But like that, yeah, it had to be you because that was never in. I always knew that I wanted to help people, but I didn't know like what aspect. Even when I went to school for social work, I didn't know where I would want to be. Like there's like so many avenues to be in social work. You could be anywhere,
Mhm. Yeah,
honestly. And I
totally.
just happened to land at the school because my coworkers like apply to the school. I'm like, I don't got no experience really. They're like, just apply to the school. You never know. And
You got into
now
school.
I'm here at the
It's where you
school.
were meant to be. It's where you, and it's also so good because again, you knew that you were having these difficulties in school when you were in school, and now you're here to
Hmm.
help. Even though you're working with younger ones, it's still, where you understand what they're going through. And you could say
Yes.
to the teachers, like I know we were having a conversation, and you could say to the teachers, you need to look at some other things. It's not just about the behavior, like what's going on at home, like what's going on with them. So I
Yes.
love to see that because I feel like that's definitely what I did in that environment when I worked with you guys. It was always advocating. It's not about what they're doing. It's about what's happening with them and how we can connect with them so that they're not continuing to do those things once they leave our program. So they're not going from program to program to program and the behaviors are
Yes.
continuing.
So
So
what did you do
definitely,
with me? I don't remember. Do you remember my
I do
analysis?
remember you. I do remember.
When
And I think with you, it was just a matter of building relationships with you and figuring out what were your triggers and what was going on. So for
Mhm.
you, it was you weren't being challenged at school, and you were
Yes.
and you were being challenged not with the work, you were being challenged with your peers. So you wanted to be more peer geared
Yeah.
instead of focusing on your academics, which everybody knew you were
Mhm.
capable and able to do, but because your friends were such a big pull, you were getting sidetracked.
So
And then
true.
that was progressing the behavior. Also, hey, girly, also, there was another young woman that I know you still deal with that when you guys were together,
Yeah, it's a lot.
you were not the greatest pair together at
And it was
school.
like a good five of us. So like, I
Yeah,
gotta say, it was like five
yeah,
of
but
us.
she's the only one where I think she's really
Yeah,
the only one I
yeah,
met
you're the only
because
one. Yeah.
she
Hmm.
came to pick you up from the program. So that and her name was brought up a lot when we were dealing with the school.
Hmm.
So yeah, so I think for me it was really just about once I built that relationship with you, once I kind of knew what was the triggers for you, I just sort of let you go with Andrew and also too because Andrew was the type of teacher he
Yeah.
was. We were just able to let you go do your thing, but also reel you in when we needed to reel you in, and you were so you became respectful of authority figure at that time. So by
Yes.
you now respecting me and Andrian, when you went back to school it transferred, so it was, you didn't have to come back to us because those
Yeah.
skills that we're building without us telling you that we were building those skills, you had them in you when you were ready to return and able to implement them. So for me, I work in silence.
That's listen. You do one stop shop. Didn't have to work two, three times with me. Okay.
But you don't even know that I'm working with you and I'm working with you.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Wheel me up for you're doing a summer job. Summer job. Okay, fine.
Remember I said you have to
Yeah.
interview, and if you
Yeah.
don't interview well, you don't get
You're
the
right.
job. Don't think
Everything.
just because
Resume.
you
I'm just
know
like,
me.
what?
Yeah,
I
just
remember.
because you know me, don't think you got this job. No, I don't play. I tell you always, remember, do you remember what I used
Remember.
to say? You're gonna hate me at the beginning, but love me at the
Hmm.
end.
Yes. 'Cause I did not want to go there. I'm like, where are you bringing me? The first day, I'm like, and then when I heard there was free food, I'm like, okay, 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 okay,
And the kids.
okay.
But it's also weird too because if you look at it, if you remember your first job placement, they loved you. The kids loved you. Every time I went over to check
I
on you,
do
they were
remember.
wrapped around you. They were calling your name. So it
Hmm.
was, I think you were destined to be where you are today. You just didn't know it was coming.
And
So
that's how it
yeah,
is till this day. They
yeah,
just everywhere I walk, Miss S, Miss S. It's like everywhere, every classroom I pass, Miss
I
S. I'm like,
believe it. I totally believe it. I totally believe it. So let's go back to like, what are
mhm.
some of the important lessons you think you've learned over about yourself throughout the year? It's like, give me two.
Important lessons. I need to listen. Like
Mhm.
listen and respond after. Sometimes and before I used to just hear something and just jump to it. I never used to think actually act. Sometimes I never even taken exactly what they said. It's just one trigger word I heard. I'm just and I just react to it. And then they're like, "That's not what I said." I'm like, "Yes, you did." But I didn't even hear what you said. So I'm just reacting. So I learn now to like listen, like actually listen before I respond. I don't like overreact that way, and I feel like I'm in less issues and problems
Mm-hmm.
now. And another one, Hmm. I would like to say communication, but
We're on the same wavelength because that's exactly what I was gonna say.
communication.
Yeah,
Communicate. Communicate.
yeah,
Staying
definitely.
silent is not going to get you nowhere because that leaves space to just wonder and to make up things and to like, oh my God, it's the
And to
worst.
get aggressive and get angry and
Hmm.
just, start
And then
cussing is
blow
not,
up for no,
yeah,
with
is not the way.
nonsense.
So I definitely feel like you've learned those two things. I would give you those two things as well.
Hmm.
So those are some good, and there's some good ones to
Hmm.
learn at your age too, because you're still growing, you're still maturing, you still have, room to grow. So at your age,
Yes.
it's great. Plus, on top of that, learning those lessons or learning that before having your child and being able to transfer those skills to your child is so important. So
Yes.
I'm glad that I could see that you've learned those. So what are some of the so how do you think, like, what support system do you feel like you needed back then that you didn't have that you now have created for your child, for the children that you work with? What are some things that you feel like as a youth who are challenging or who, the world labels as challenging behaviors that they need to have in their back pocket or in their toolbox, or I call it my toolkit, in your toolkit. Oh, let's say our makeup bag, you know,
I honestly think the number one thing is support.
what kind
Support,
of support?
like support by family, support, not necessarily friends, support by like agencies, like services to help you, like just support in all areas. Like if you're like struggling in any type of area, there needs to be some type of support, because once there's support, there's different avenues you can take to like reach your level, that you reach the goal that you want to reach. That's what I think. Because like if there was no program like Peach, where would I have end up? Like suspended home. Like you don't learn nothing when you're at home. You're not gonna do the work when you're at home. Like
Yeah.
if there wasn't no Peach, where would I have end? I probably would be the same person. Literally, all those kids that you helped, like it'll be back to school doing the same thing, fighting, doing the same thing. So that's one service that they need now,
Yeah.
more like different branches of, because it is, I don't know. After
The,
COVID, it's just been,
the different kind of environment that we have to deal with, right?
yes. And it's just like there's no support. That's all I'm hearing. There's no support, not enough support. And I'm just like, damn.
Yeah. What else do you think is needed in regards